Recently, American farmers are facing a serious crisis in the poultry industry due to the epidemic. This is considered the most dangerous virus in history for poultry and wild birds around the world. It is causing thousands of American farmers to be on the brink of bankruptcy when millions of chickens are infected. So, what are the consequences of bird flu? And what will American farmers do to face this crisis? Please follow along. The avian flu has swept across the globe in recent years, killing billions of domestic and wild birds. It has had a devastating impact on the U.S. poultry industry. As the world's largest producer of chicken, an outbreak can quickly become a nightmare for any chicken farmer. Since its discovery in 2022, about 158 million birds, including egg-laying hens, have been culled to control the spread of the virus. This has severely affected poultry farmers, leading to a shortage of chicken and turkey meat. Poultry farmers are facing huge financial losses, especially those who rely on egg and poultry production. Starting a chicken farm requires investing in equipment and breeding stock, along with strict disease prevention measures. This has caused farm investment costs to skyrocket. Some farms have had to start from scratch, like a Long Island farm that recently hatched thousands of new chicks after culling nearly 100,000 birds. The worrying thing about this flu is the rapid spread and relatively short incubation period. Flocks of chickens can become infected en masse after coming into contact with an animal carrying the virus, such as a wild bird or bat. There are also many cases where, when a chicken is infected, it will spread rapidly, affecting thousands of chickens. The only way to control avian flu is to destroy all infected poultry that show signs of flu. What's more worrying for American farmers is that the flu isn't limited to poultry. It's also spreading to livestock and domestic dogs and cats. Just poultry farms that are affected. The virus has been detected in dairy cows in several states, including Michigan, Arizona, and California. Infected cows produce lower quality milk, raising concerns about milk supply and safety. Since the first outbreak of bird flu in cattle, the virus has shown no signs of slowing down. The U.S. government has been unable to eradicate the virus from dairy farms, as it has been limited to just a handful of states. At least 875 cattle herds in 16 states have now been reported to be infected with the virus, which has even cattle farmers spooked. More seriously, the spread of bird flu has not been contained, seriously affecting chicken meat prices and egg supply. Over the past 6 months, the US government and the Department of Agriculture have ordered the culling of millions of chickens, leading to a shortage of chicken supplies in the country. This has also led to a severe shortage of eggs. The price of eggs has even increased tenfold, causing a severe consumer crisis. The avian flu outbreak also had a major impact on the US trade economy. Several countries restricted imports of US poultry and dairy, forcing the US to find alternative markets. This resulted in serious financial losses for states that specialize in poultry production. Industries such as poultry feed production in the US have also been significantly affected by this flu epidemic. So, what measures has the US taken to deal with the bird flu epidemic? In response to the outbreak, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced a comprehensive plan to combat avian influenza, allocating up to $1 billion in funding. The plan includes $500 million for free biosecurity audits and $400 million to increase compensation for farmers who have to cull chickens. The USDA is also considering the use of vaccines in chickens, although their use is currently not permitted due to potential trade issues. Additionally, to reduce record-high egg prices, the United States will increase egg imports to meet domestic demand. We have just followed the situation of bird flu in the US and the great impact on farmers. How do you feel? Leave your comments below to let us know. Did you know that ostrich skin is currently the most valuable leather in the world, with a value of up to $5,000 a piece? Not only that, ostrich products such as meat, feathers, and eggs also bring significant economic value, contributing billions of dollars to the income of Chinese farmers. Is there any secret behind this success? To decode, let's explore the large-scale ostrich farms in this country of 1 billion people. Ostrich farming began in China in 1998 and has now become a thriving industry, with hundreds of large-scale farms across the country. The most popular ostrich breed in China is the African ostrich, because they are larger in size and lay more eggs. The most prominent is the farm in Sichuan, with an area of more than 3,000 acres, estimated to raise more than 100,000 birds per year, and is considered the ostrich capital of China. Ostriches are large birds with long legs and strong running ability, so when raising them, it is necessary to build spacious and airy cages. Ostrich cages need to be spacious, allowing ostriches to move comfortably, helping to increase the fertilization rate and prevent obesity. The cage floor needs to be clean, always clean of feces and waste. Normally, farmers will add sand, plant grass, and some trees with canopies to create shade. The fence surrounding the cage must be sturdy, ensuring the most effective confinement of ostriches. Ostriches are considered very easy to raise. Their main food is vegetables, fresh green grass, which can be combined with corn flour or nutritious food. Therefore, the cost of raising ostriches is not too high. From 10 to 12 months old, they can be sold. From hatching to 3 months old, ostriches need to be carefully cared for to increase the survival rate. People use specialized incubators for birds under 3 months old, in dry, clean, and airy conditions. After about 4 months of age or more, ostriches begin to mature, weighing about 36 kilograms, and can adapt to many different natural conditions. Female ostriches can reproduce at the age of 24 to 30 months, while male ostriches need 36 months. When they reach breeding age, they will be divided into groups of about 20 to 30 to ensure efficiency, with a ratio of 1 male to 3 females. A female ostrich lays 80 to 120 eggs per year. Some farms also apply artificial insemination to increase reproductive efficiency. The incubation period for ostrich eggs is 42 days, with the temperature adjusted to 36.8 to 42 degrees Celsius. Selling ostrich breeding flocks is also a solution that brings high income to breeders. The ostriches reach a large enough weight, they can be harvested. Ostrich meat is the main product and can be processed into many attractive dishes. An ostrich raised for 12 to 14 months can reach a weight of about 100 kilograms. After removing the skin and bones, about 50 kilograms of lean meat will be obtained. Currently, large-scale modern ostrich meat processing factories have also been built, meeting the needs of large-scale processing. Ostrich meat is popular because it is mainly grass-fed, has no pesticide residues, and sells for about $10 per kilogram. Meanwhile, ostrich eggs are considered to have a soft, delicious, nutritious texture and cost about $20 each. Ostrich leather is a special product, with a soft and tough texture, 5 times more durable than cow leather. Therefore, a piece of leather can cost from several $100s to thousands of dollars. Each ostrich can produce 1,000 grams of leather, which can be supplied to the modern automobile industry, electronics, and decoration industries. In addition, ostrich feathers are also very soft and smooth, which is a good material for making clothing accessories. Each ostrich can produce about 1.8 kilograms of feathers, which are used as raw materials for the high-end fashion industry. Ostrich eggshells are thick and hard, have a beautiful shiny color, and can be used for carving and producing handmade decorations at high prices. In addition, ostrich oil is also used as cosmetics and skincare products, anti-aging. Ostrich organs and bones also have certain medicinal value. It can be seen that any product from ostriches can generate income for breeders. With large farms, the ostrich farming industry can create jobs for thousands of local people, contributing to the development of the regional economy. Ostrich farming has created an integrated ostrich farming industry chain from incubation, breeding, slaughtering, processing, etc. Some farms also combine the construction of cultural tourism spots and product sales to attract tourists and maximize income. However, long-term ostrich farming also causes negative impacts on the local environment and ecosystem. Therefore, farmers also need to have a sustainable development plan to protect the natural environment.
Surprised by the white goose farm in South Korea, providing tons of meat in a critical situation. These giant white geese with silky feathers are not just kept as pets. They are a major source of meat, contributing significantly to the growing livestock industry in South Korea. Foie gras and roast goose, once a luxury item, have become an important food reserve. So how do these farmers work and why is this livestock industry so important? Find out in today's video. Geese are always considered noisy, especially during the breeding season. Statistics in 2021 showed that the world's goose production reached more than 4 million tons, and with China accounted for 98.76%. However, few people know that South Korea has also large-scale goose farms, providing tons of meat every year. Although not as large as China, South Korea also owns many goose farms with significant output. With its large size and delicious taste, goose meat has become a popular choice for consumers. In the context of tensions between South Korea and North Korea, goose meat can become an important food reserve. It is undeniable that the goose farming industry is bringing positive values to this country. Usually, goose farms will be built next to ponds and lakes to ensure the most suitable living environments. Goose farms are not too complicated. Farmers only need to build a net system around the farming area. In addition, it is possible to build a roof for the geese so that they have shelter when it rains, is sunny, or when breeding. Although the species of goose has a rather aggressive personality, they have the habit of following their owners. This is very special, isn't it? In some places, geese are also raised as pets to guard houses. Geese can live up to 50 years and breed for about 5 to 16 years. However, with geese raised for meat, farmers only need to raise them for 8 to 9 weeks, when they reach a weight of about 9 pounds. Typically, peak egg-laying season is in the spring, with most geese laying a clutch of 10 to 15 eggs. Geese can breed naturally or incubated artificially, with an incubation period of about 30 days. Geese like rugged and prefer to live in places with water. Raising geese requires large spaces, fenced pastures, and close to water sources. Some farms use gardens to raise geese, ensuring both shade and ventilation. Despite their thick feathers, geese have poor thermal regulation, so it is necessary to maintain a stable temperature for goslings. If the temperature fluctuates sharply between day and night, the risk of goslings dying is very high, so it is necessary to maintain the temperature between 26 to 32 degrees Celsius. Korean farmers' goose crops are always designed to balance temperature and have good ventilation. When raising geese, flock density is also an important factor. If the density is too high, the goslings will certainly not have enough oxygen to breathe. Therefore, a spacious coop and suitable density will reduce the risk of geese dying. Besides, if the flock is too large, the risk of goslings starving to death is entirely possible. Disinfection and humidity control in the goose coop are also carried out regularly. This is the best way to prevent the spread of diseases that can cause mass geese deaths. In particular, goose farms will vaccinate goslings 3 to 5 days after hatching for the most effective disease prevention. Let's take a look at the production process and why white goose meat has become the top choice in Korean cuisine. Goose meat is even more highly valued than chicken or duck. Koreans often use goose meat to prepare some traditional dishes, not only meeting domestic consumption needs. Goose products in Korea are also exported to markets such as Vietnam, Hong Kong and Singapore. In addition to meat, goose eggs are also highly valued for their nutritional value and flavor. In addition to goose meat production, these farms also earn additional income for collecting goose feathers. Goose feathers are light and soft, have good insulation properties, and are very popular. The value of goose feathers can be twice as high as duck feathers. But if the quality is high, the price can increase 10 times. Goose feathers products such as blankets and coats are still sought after by many people. In the context of conflict, food production becomes especially important. Farmers must adopt and find ways to maintain production in difficult situations. Promoting food production and reserves is extremely necessary. The goose farming industry also faces many challenges such as epidemics, climate change and food quality requirements. Farmers are applying modern technology and suitable farming methods to improve efficiency and protect the environment. Despite many difficulties, Korean goose farms are still making positive changes. Innovations in agriculture will help them maintain production and provide food for the people.
Hello everyone following David Farming. You've probably explored some of the largest chicken processing plants in the United States and Brazil on David farming. These are the largest poultry production markets in the world, but you may be surprised that a small country in Southeast Asia is also on the list of the largest chicken exporting countries. Although the area is not as large as other countries, chicken production in Thailand is considered to be superior. So, is chicken processing and production technology in Thailand as modern as other powers? Let's find out right away! Chicken meat is Thailand's third largest export commodity and one of the country's most important industries. With nearly 2 billion chickens processed each year, generating annual revenues of up to $35 billion US, chicken processing plants in Thailand employ technology and equipment that is as advanced as those in leading European factories. To ensure high-quality chicken meat, each chicken needs to be de-stressed from transportation to slaughter. Because stress can affect meat quality, this step is important to maintain product standards. Inside the processing plant, each chicken is hung on an automated conveyor belt and is usually stunned using electricity or gas to ensure humane handling. After stunning, they are transported to the slaughter area, where highly automated machines handle the process with precision, ensuring product consistency. Human workers handle and remove the chicken's organs, a task that is done with precision to prevent contamination and ensure a clean product. The carcasses are then cleaned using an automated high-pressure water system. Modern facilities in Thailand use advanced sanitation techniques to ensure minimal bacterial contamination. After cleaning the carcass, the chicken is divided into different parts based on market demand. Modern machines can be programmed to cut specific weights and sizes, ensuring that each piece of chicken is cut evenly and meets exact specifications. This is important in export markets where uniformity is strictly controlled. Especially at large chicken processing plants in Thailand, the entire production process is strictly controlled to ensure that it meets international safety standards. The rigorous testing process shows that only high-quality chicken products are brought to the packaging stage. To maintain freshness, most chicken is flash frozen immediately after processing. This technology helps to preserve the texture and flavor of the chicken while extending shelf life without affecting quality. In addition to processing fresh and frozen chicken, many chicken production facilities also package processed chicken products, which means chicken is marinated with spices and packaged before being put on the market. Although these products are not very popular in the European market, in China and Korea, these products are very popular because of their convenience. Every year, Thailand exports hundreds of thousands of tons of chicken meat, earning billions of dollars in revenue. The industry plays an important role in the economy as it provides jobs for thousands of Thais, mainly in the processing and farming industries. Poultry farming is also an important aspect of the country's agricultural economy. High-quality chicken meat products also depend on modern farming. Broiler farming in Thailand focuses on natural selection of breeds that are fast-growing and healthy. Meanwhile, broiler feed has been developed to have nutritional value according to the needs of chickens at different stages of development. The farms are committed to not using growth hormones, along with providing a closed greenhouse environment with air conditioning and temperature control suitable for the development of chickens. In Thailand, the development of the chicken farm system also promotes the value-added cultivation industry, especially corn farms used to produce chicken feed. This helps stabilize the income of local communities. Importantly, chicken farms in Thailand also apply animal welfare standards, which is another standard that reinforces food safety. It is a strict standard that is respected by trading partners around the world. That is why chicken products from Thailand are also trusted by markets in Europe. Have you ever seen American farmers catching wild buffalo and cows? These animals are not only dangerous, but also very difficult to control. However, these farmers have created extremely unique machines to tame them. Today, we will explore how they use these machines to tame wild buffalo and cows. What are they caught for? Let's find out now. Buffalo and bison were once symbols of the North American grasslands, including breeds such as buffalo, bison, longhorn cattle, etc. In the 19th century, the population of buffalo and bison was estimated to be in the tens of millions. However, due to overhunting and habitat loss, their numbers have decreased sharply. Today, the concept of bison in America has changed. In fact, they are cows whose ancestors escaped from farms or were abandoned. They then lived in the natural environment and gradually became like wild animals. They chose canyons and deserted lands to reproduce, causing the herd to increase uncontrollably, putting pressure on natural resources. Capturing wild buffalo and bison is one of the most humane ways to control these animals. Therefore, the government or ranchers often hire people, mainly farmers, to do it. One of the most effective and safest methods they use is to capture them with specialized machines. These machines have a fairly simple structure, similar to a regular off-road vehicle. However, the body of the vehicle is made of sturdy iron, ensuring safety when attacked by aggressive buffalo and cows. The most prominent feature of this machine is the design of the two iron clamps at the front of the vehicle. When detecting a target, the farmer will drive the vehicle to chase and approach them. The iron candy lock has flexible joints, can expand and clamp tightly around the animal's neck. With this clamp, wild buffalo and cows cannot escape. However, the crazy thing about this machine is its moving speed. On any terrain, from plains to rugged mountains, this machine can accelerate to catch up with agile wild buffalo and cows. This is a great tool to help farmers catch wild animals effectively. In addition, in some places, people also use helicopters to support the pursuit of wild buffalo and cows, making tracking and capturing easier. After successfully controlling, they will quickly catch wild buffalo and cows with ropes and put them on trucks to transport back to the farm. After that, some of them can be raised or sold. However, the crazy thing about this machine is its moving speed. On any terrain, from plains to rugged mountains, this machine can accelerate to catch up with agile wild buffalo and cows. This is a great tool to help farmers catch wild animals effectively. In addition, in some places, people also use helicopters to support the pursuit of wild buffalo and cows, making tracking and capturing easier. After successfully controlling, they will quickly catch wild buffalo and cows with ropes and put them on trucks to transport back to the farm. After that, some of them can be raised or sold. As you know, farmers are often paid by the government to remove wild cattle from public land. The increase in wild cattle puts pressure on natural ecosystems, reduces the quality of pastures, and negatively affects the livestock industry. According to statistics, 223 pounds of methane are emitted from a pair of cows each year. In addition, wild cattle can carry diseases and spread them to domestic cattle, causing concern for farmers. Therefore, state governments often hire professionals to manage and control the number of wild cattle. In addition, wild cattle can also pose a danger to residents and visitors when visiting nature reserves. At the Gila Nature Reserve in New Mexico, aggressive bulls regularly attack visitors and staff. Capturing and relocating these animals not only helps protect the environment, but also ensures human safety. In many states in the United States, the capture and domestication of wild buffalo and cattle not only provides income for farmers, but also becomes a recreational sport. These animals are often used in hunting competitions and have become part of local culture, attracting many participants and spectators. One of the most prominent annual festivals is the South Dakota Bison Roundup or Rodeo. Bulls are used in competitions such as bull riding, wrestling, and bull tying, etc. The ferocity of wild bulls makes the competitions more attractive than ever. This is also an opportunity for participants to demonstrate their skills and courage. Capturing and taming wild buffalo and cows is an effective way for farmers to increase their income through commercial and recreational activities. When domesticated and raised in a controlled environment, they are no longer a threat to the natural environment. Best known in the world for its great taste and high price, Wagyu beef is bred and grown on farms around the world. Although it originated in Japan, Australia is famous for its scale of Wagyu beef production and processing. Australian Wagyu beef is exported to many regions around the world and creates a famous brand. So, does the process of producing and processing Australian Wagyu beef meet standards? Standard compared to Japan? Let's find out together. In Japan, the Wagyu beef industry is deeply rooted in tradition, with a focus on quality over quantity. Cows are typically raised in small herds, allowing farmers to closely monitor and care for each animal. Wagyu beef is processed in Japan under strict guidelines to ensure the meat maintains its high quality standards. After being raised for approximately 30 months, the cattle are slaughtered in highly regulated facilities. These processing plants adhere to strict hygiene and handling procedures to ensure the safety of the meat. The special thing about Japanese Wagyu beef is that it is classified based on a standard marbling score numbered from 1 to 12. The higher the score, the more marbling. Only beef numbered 6 or higher is classified as premium Wagyu beef. With strict production processes at processing facilities, Japanese Wagyu beef has affirmed its unique brand worldwide. So, does Australia breed and produce Wagyu beef according to Japanese methods? And how was the taste of Australian Wagyu beef compared to the original taste in Japan? Australia is one of the world's largest producers of Wagyu beef. Although they import Wagyu cattle from Japan, Australian farmers have developed their own unique methods of raising and processing this expensive breed of cattle. While Japan has prioritized traditional practices, Australia has adopted a more industrial approach to Wagyu beef production to meet global demand. However, Australian farmers maintain high standards of care for their herds, focusing on producing consistent, high-quality beef. Unlike traditional large-scale farming in Japan, Australian Wagyu cattle are typically raised on large farms where they have access to pasture before being fed grain to enhance the marbling of the meat. The grain feeding process typically lasts between 30 and 50 days, during which time each cow is closely monitored to ensure that they achieve the desired marbling. Unlike Japan, where cows are cared for almost individually, Australian farms manage larger herds, using advanced technology to monitor and optimize cow health and diet. The slaughter and processing of Australian Wagyu beef is also subject to strict health and safety regulations, overseen by government agencies such as the Australian Meat Industry Council and the Department of Agriculture. Australian processing plants are also more automated than those in Japan, allowing for larger-scale beef processing. These plants use advanced technology to ensure that beef is slaughtered and packaged efficiently while maintaining the high standards expected of Wagyu. While Japan grades Wagyu meat according to its marbling, in Australia, experts take into account factors such as tenderness, flavor, and juiciness in addition to marbling. High-quality Australian Wagyu beef is often exported to international markets, especially in Asia and the United States. Compared to Japan, Australian Wagyu beef is aged for a longer period of time, usually 28 to 60 days, to develop the flavor and tenderness of the meat. The aging process is usually carried out in a temperature-controlled environment to ensure consistent quality. After aging, the beef is vacuum sealed and packaged for export. You can easily find Australian Wagyu beef on the menus of high-end restaurants and supermarkets around the world. While Japan consumes most of its Wagyu beef domestically, only a small portion is exported to international markets. In contrast, Australia produces a large amount of Wagyu beef for export, making it a major player in the global premium beef markets. Although originating from Japan, Australian Wagyu beef farms do not apply Japanese production technology, but instead apply high-tech, large-scale production to produce Wagyu beef for export worldwide. Despite different production methods, Japan and Australia are both aiming to create the highest quality Wagyu beef products that are sought after worldwide. Australia is one of the world's largest exporters of sheep, accounting for about 57% of global sheep production and 92% of global adult sheep production. Sheep farms here can stretch for tens of thousands of square kilometers, bringing huge revenue to farmers. So, what has driven the growth of the Australian sheep industry, and how can farms maximize profits? Take a look at some of the most modern sheep farms in this video to find out. Australia's sheep industry is one of the largest agricultural economies and has a long history spanning over 200 years. It plays a vital role in supplying high-quality meat and wool to the global market. Today, there are around 79 million sheep on huge farms, many of which cover tens of thousands of hectares. The most common fallow areas are New South Wales, 38%, Victoria, 21%, Western Australia, 18%, and South Australia, 15%. The most typical example of a modern sheep farm model is Rawlinna, Australia's largest sheep farm. This farm has an area of 1,011,714 hectares, almost the same area as Sydney. In addition, there are hundreds of other farms that are smaller in scale, but still extremely large and modern. It can be seen that the scale of sheep farms in Australia is extremely large. Sheep farms in Australia mainly raise the famous Merino sheep breed, with high-quality, smooth and soft wool products, mainly serving the textile industry. Merino sheep not only have good wool quality, but also have the ability to adapt well to harsh climates, helping to improve productivity and product quality. In addition, Donnay and Paul Dorset sheep are also raised for meat and meet the large export demand. Lambs are carefully cared for after birth with a suitable diet, including mother's milk and supplementary feed. After a few months, they begin to graze on large pastures and are monitored through modern equipment. When the sheep reach optimal weight or have long enough wool, they will be sheared or sold for meat. be able to operate large sheep farms, farmers must apply modern technology and the most optimal management methods. Systems such as remote cameras and automatic watering can significantly save time and labor costs. At the same time, electronic identification systems help monitor the health and productivity of sheep, improving data accuracy. The use of data management software also makes it easier for farm owners to track pedigrees and profits from ewes. Thanks to supporting equipment and technology, farmers no longer have to travel hundreds of kilometers to check their flocks. Thus, they have succeeded in reducing the number of workers needed, thereby reducing farm operating costs. This not only brings high economic efficiency, but also promotes sustainable development for the sheep farming industry in Australia. In addition to modern technology, one of the factors that helps the sheep farming industry in Australia bring high profits is optimizing the size of the sheep herd. With the same number of workers, but in Australia, farms increase the size of their sheep herds, thereby bringing higher profits. According to statistics, Australian sheep farms produce 5 to 10 times more meat per hour of work than the rest of the world. Therefore, although labor costs are 10 times higher than in China, Africa, or South America, and twice as high as in New Zealand and European countries, they are still highly profitable. In addition, the construction of mixed sheep farms combined with crop farms helps to take advantage of feed sources from crops. This is an effective solution to save on the cost of buying feed for sheep. Therefore, Australia has become one of the countries producing sheep with the lowest cost in the world, lower than the global average of $428 per 100 kilogram live weight. The majority of Australian sheep is exported to overseas markets, most notably China, Europe, and the United States, generating a significant amount of revenue for the livestock industry. According to the latest figures, the value of exports in 2023 to 2024 is a record $5.1 trillion, which is a huge number. Despite the large-scale sheep farming, Australian farmers are also committed to producing sheep sustainably. Efforts to maintain land, vegetation, and reduce emissions are essential. Each year, livestock farmers, especially sheep farmers, invest more than $13 million in research to reduce the impact of the industry on the environment. Practical actions are being taken to improve environmental sustainability, such as installing solar panels, fencing to increase biodiversity, etc. These efforts not only bring economic benefits, but also create a better living environment for sheep. With recent climate change, global competition, and market issues, the revenue of the Australian sheep industry is forecast to decrease by about 2.6% by 2024. However, with efficient and sustainable farming models, Australia will still be the world's largest supplier of sheep meat and wool.